Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome, some comic book hunter. Hope you're doing all right. Happy Sunday to all involved. Hope you're having a fun time sheltering in place. Welcome to the Sundays at Scarpad. A little chilling, hanging out with you guys. And no, we're not watching a movie at the moment because last one, YouTube was getting kind of bitchy on me. Gave me a copyright claim, not a strike. But unfortunately, I just never know what movies, even if they're old movies, even if they're on YouTube, what movies will be okay with them and what movies won't be okay with them. So definitely don't want to get banned. So we'll still be doing the ones we're doing with Dylan and the crew there because those are off the screen and people can join in at home. But the ones that go on the screen are definitely going to be a no-no for a bit. Raining for 4 days. Actually, it's nice here. I'm in Massachusetts. It's about 50 degrees and pretty nice, actually. It's sunny out. It's been nice for the last couple of days. I think that rain that you're getting is coming up here starting tomorrow. So we'll be getting like 4 days of rain. So, yeah, anything you guys want to talk about? I'm going to be talking about some digital comics in a bit. See if we get a few more people jump in. Anybody would like to join in, drop me a IG, Instagram post message, and I'll drop you guys a link. I know I dropped a few links out to Dylan and some of the guys, so they may show up here at some point. And if you guys want to talk about what you've read this week, let me know. I just got done reading a couple books. I read the last issue of the Kylo Ren book, which I thought was good. Ended with how I thought it was going to end, with him building his lightsaber and going all bad, killing off pretty much everybody. I actually liked Kylo Ren in the comic a lot better than I liked him in the movie. Didn't care for him in the movie, but he's okay in the comic. And in addition to that, I read I think it was issue 11 of Batman the Outsiders, which is actually not a bad book. I think it's probably, along with Batman's Grave, one of the most overlooked Batman books out there. It doesn't seem like anybody's reading it. That, along with the Ra's al Ghul one, which is pretty terrible. But The Outsiders is pretty decent. It's not a bad book. I wouldn't say it's up to like the other books, Batman or Detective, but it's pretty decent. I think Batman's Grave is one of the best books out there for Batman right now. It doesn't seem like anybody's reading that one either. The other book I read this morning was Pandemica. Probably not a great book to read, given the circumstances of what's going on. But that continues to be a decent book, Pandemica, from I think it's from IDW. And I've been enjoying that one. I think it's up to issue 4 right now. So I think they're going to be 5 or 6 complete books in that series. So it's going to be winding down shortly. So anybody want to jump in and tell me what they've been reading or, anything else, fine. And some comic book hunter, if you want to jump in here, just shoot me an Instagram. I'll drop you a link. So what we're going to be talking about is a little bit in the beginning here is digital comics. Mainly how I read my books and, how long I've been doing digital comics. And let's just get in here, make sure we're all up and running here. Shaper live. Okay, we are good. Make sure you guys can hear me. Beautiful. Yeah, I started reading. I haven't gotten any modern yet. Are you an indie guy or Marvel or DC? I'm actually a little bit of both, and lately more indie than Marvel or DC. I've been reading. Let me see, the indie books I've been reading so far have been like Something's Killing the Children, Pandemica. I just started reading that Joy in the Future, which I thought was a decent book. Let's see what else am I. Finger Guns. I read. Reading Basketball. Well, Basketball Heads is a DC book. Almost seems like an indie book. Let's see what else I'm reading here. Indie. Let's see. Quite a bit. A lot of Boom Studio stuff, Aftershock, The Undone by Blood. I read that. So right now I'm probably reading more indie than I am DC. DC, I read, Batman. I'm reading all the Batman books. I'm reading, the Joe Hill stuff, which I think is pretty great right now. At least the majority of it is. And Marvel, I'm probably reading. I'm behind, but I'm reading Immortal Hulk, Thor. What else am I reading at Marvel? I read a few other Marvel books. Really, I'm more of a DC guy and more of an independent guy. But I really, I'm buying right now. My pull. I'm doing comics from. Okay, yeah, just give me an IG and I'll send you a link. I'm doing pulls. I'm getting right now all the Batman books in Dead Tree format. I'm buying the AB covers on pretty much all of them at the moment, unfortunately. I'm also a big believer in dollar books, so I'm getting a lot of the dollar books like the True Believers, the DC Dollars, and getting those giant books from DC because I like that format. I got most of those. But I read a lot of independent books digitally, and the reason why I do that is because my LCS guy doesn't really bring them in. And I'm trying to cut back on some of the titles I read, and so sometimes it's tough to get them right away. So I've been buying a lot of that stuff digitally through Comixology, and I tell you, at this point in my life, I kind of like digital. I'll give you a couple of reasons why, because I can read it anywhere. I do a lot of reading when I go to bed at night sometimes, and I can read either in the dark or low light. These old eyes are going on me. I really appreciate the ability of zooming in on panels and you using the guided view. A lot of times I have a lot of trouble reading some of the small print. I'll give you a classic example. The Batman Laughs. Not only was it in red, which made it really hard to read, but it was also very small print. And it's nice to be able to pinch and zoom the stuff. And also, I find that when I'm reading books, especially at night, because I have to have a light to read, I get a lot of glare off the book. So for me right now, my enjoyment right now, I would say I enjoy reading digital more than I enjoy reading paper. Although I like paper, I like handling the book. I love the covers. I love the artwork, and that's why I still do buy books. The things I don't like about digital right now would be I don't like the fact that it's the same price as a regular book. I can understand why they do that because obviously they don't want to cannibalize the sales on the paper books, so they go ahead and charge the same price for the digital copy. But I think that's insane. I don't think the digital is ever going to take off if it's the same price. And if you go to, I subscribe to Comixology Unlimited. It's like $6 a month, and they got a good mix of DC, Indies, and Marvel. And the only reason I don't do something like Marvel because I read a lot of different books, and if you go with just Marvel, you just get Marvel. So with Comixology Unlimited for $6, I'm getting a good mix of Indies, Marvel, and DC. I also do Hoopla. Hoopla is an app you can get on. Hoopla is an app that you can get on iOS or Android, and you can download books if you have a library card. And a nice thing about Hoopla is not only do they have a good mix of older books, they have a good mix of newer books. You can get things like Something's Killing the Children. I think they're like one issue behind on on what they have. So maybe it's a month behind, but you can read a lot of new indies and a lot of new DC and Marvel trades. I don't find that the scanning resolution is as good on those as it is with Comixology, where if you buy the book or use the unlimited, you get HD versions of the scans of the book. I don't think they look quite as good on Hoopla, but you're not paying anything for them, so you really can't complain. I've read a lot of stuff digitally. Right now, I'm reading Ice Cream Man digitally. It's something I passed on initially, and then it got in to be like 20 issues, and they were hard to get, and they were very expensive. So I started jumping on that digitally through Hoopla. I think they have the first 4 volumes of it up there. And if I like it enough, then I end up either buying the trade or maybe looking for the back issues. So let's talk about what I use to read on. Double check and make sure there's nobody that wants to get in here. Okay. Right now I'm reading on 3 devices. I'm reading on, I have an iPad Pro 12.9 inch. I have a, hey Batcave, if you want to jump up, I sent you the link. If you want to jump on, feel free to jump on. I'm reading on iPad Pro. I'm reading on an iPad Mini, 5th gen, and I'm reading on a Kindle Fire tablet. So let's take a look at them. This is my iPad Pro. This is an expensive device, and I wouldn't buy this mainly for reading comics, although you can get deals on older iPad Pros now that, it's a little bit off. But this is, looking at Comixology on the iPad Pro. And this comes in 2 different sizes, an 11 inch and a 12.9 inch screen. I went with the 12.9. I wasn't, after doing that, I thought, it's a bit heavy. So maybe I should have gone with a smaller screen. It's not too bad though. It's easy to hold. And I tell you, I love the size of the books. I feel that it's a tad bigger than what a paper book would be. The 11 inch may be a tad smaller, but I tell you, for reading comics, especially stuff that is older, has a lot of word bubbles, and then of course you can do the guided panel. On an iPad, there's probably not much reason to do this, but if you're going to go with a smaller iPad, I love guided view. I love doing this, and it's great on the phone too. I have an iPhone XS Max, and when I'm reading in the car, it's nice to read that way. But I really like the iPad for reading. But they're pretty pricey. You can get a normal iPad that'll do just as good of a job, except it'll be a little bit smaller. If you want something just for reading digital comics and you want to stay with an Apple iPad, I'd get like the new 10.5 inch basic model. I think you can get them for under $300 now if you shop around, and that's perfect for reading comics. I think if you're going to use it for other things like this, this is my laptop replacement. I bought the pen for it, and I use it to edit some of my videos with LumaVision and some of the other stuff. So if you're looking for an iPad replacement and you want to go ahead and use it for a laptop, then I would recommend getting a Pro. Otherwise, stay with the original iPad, and it's great for comics. You can get it like I think you can get like a 256 gigabyte, which is perfect. Even a smaller one is perfect. If you're going to go with Comixology, everything's in the cloud, and you don't have to really worry about, keeping it on the device. Now, Comixology, and that's what, we'll look at some of these other devices in a second, but that's what everybody says, well, I don't own the book. And there is that. I mean, IDW is one of the few people that let you actually download Some of the publishers let you download and back up the comics onto your laptop from Comixology, but the big ones, DC and Marvel, don't. So you have to rely on them being in the cloud. Now I'm pretty confident. If a few years back, before they got bought out by Amazon, I wouldn't have probably bought anything from Comixology. But now that they're bought out by in league with Amazon, I don't think Amazon's going anywhere. So I'm pretty confident that the books you buy will be there, and hopefully that if they did phase them out, they would give you some ability to download them. We'll see. But it is nice, as I said, you get 15% off. I think most of the books if you get the unlimited. Now the other thing I read on, of course, would be another iPad. This is an iPad Mini, 5th generation iPad Mini, and I find this is really nice to read on. The screen is fantastic on it. Let's look at a book here. So, here's the iPad Mini screen with the book. And there it is. Now, with an 8-inch screen, it's a little small. It's perfectly readable. It's perfectly readable here. But the nice thing about this is that guided view. And this tablet is perfect for guided view because of the size. So if you're looking for something to read in bed, I would definitely recommend something like this iPad over something like the Pro, which I believe it or not, I've been reading in bed, and all of a sudden I'll fall asleep and I'll whack myself in the head with that tablet. I go, holy fuck! Boom! It wakes me right the fuck up. Now, when you don't want to be doing that, you don't want your comic books to shatter your fucking skull. So don't buy an iPad and read it in bed, an iPad Pro. Too big. But this is perfect for that. And this is nice. This is a good balance between your phone and the larger tablet. Now, I wouldn't really recommend this anymore. I was always a big fan of the iPad minis, but they're simply not worth it now. I think you can get this for like $329, but you can almost get a big one, a 10.5-inch one for that same price. I would go, this has a little bit nicer screen. The 10.5 one, I don't think is a laminated screen, so there's a little bit of an air gap. But for comics, they still look pretty damn good. So if you're looking for something that's smaller, that basically does everything the bigger iPad does, like the iPad Air, then go with a mini. But and this is good for reading in bed. This is a perfect size iPad for reading books too. So I would recommend it for that. Let me see if there's anybody else in here. Don't look like anybody wants to jump in. But once again, if anybody wants to jump in, just send me a message on Instagram, and I'll send you the link to jump in. But yeah, you're laying in bed. All of a sudden, you're reading your book. You're really phasing out. Of course, you start dozing. Do that 5 fucking times. And you'll understand why you don't want to read that fucking in bed. That kind of explains why I'm kind of fucked up a little bit, because I've hit myself in the head with my iPad one too many fucking times. So what I would recommend next, this is what I would recommend. Ideally, it's not as good as any of these devices I showed you, but for the money, you can't beat it. This is the latest iPad, not latest iPad, the latest Amazon Fire tablet, okay, from Amazon. This is the Fire HD 10. This is the 2019 version. Now, if you do this at the right time, these sell for $149, which is a pretty good deal, but don't pay full price, because 3 or 4 times during the year, Black Friday, Christmas, and a couple times during the year, they drop this sucker down to $99. And for $99, I tell you, I don't think there's a better tablet on the market than this one. It's just a great tablet for reading comics. And if you have your own comics, there's some good apps on the App Store for reading your own comics, or if you subscribe to Comixology. It's kind of Android. It's their version of Android. So most of the Android, you can install the Google Play Store on here. It's pretty easy. And then you can download all your apps from the Google Play Store. Or you can just stick with Amazon's App Store. They have quite a bit of the same apps. But for reading comics, this is just fantastic. I mean, I read this a lot of times. It's lighter. It's a little bit bigger than a little bit smaller than my iPad. But if you're in bed reading this fucking thing and this thing hits you, Dad, it ain't gonna hurt us fucking much. Let me tell you. It's a little bit thinner. It's a lot lighter. Once again, you can do guided view on this. And this tablet is pretty fast for. I don't think you can get a $100 tablet anywhere else that's going to run as good as this. Dolby stereo speakers. So we got Amazon Prime. It's great for videos. It's good for music, but it's fantastic for comic books. And as I said, you can get this for $99. And ladies and gentlemen, and what is going to be better than the iPad is that iPad, the more you want for memory, I think iPads come in like 64 gig, 124, 8 gig, and 256 gig. But the more you want memory, the more it's going to cost you. The price goes up and it's ridiculous what they charge for memory. These come with, I think, 16 or 32 base, which sounds like, well, 32 gig, that's fucking archaic. 16, what is it, 1995? 16 gigabytes? What the fuck? No. This has a card slot. So you can buy a card and it takes up to a 512. So I think I picked up a 512 gigabyte card for this for like $40 on sale, $50 on sale for 512. And I got 500 gigabytes of card. Well, it's not full, but I can have up to 500 gigabytes of comics on this for next to nothing. So for $150 with a card, you can't kick this. You can't beat this with a stick. And I'll tell you one other thing. Let me just check, make sure there's nobody here. Oh, I got a message. Put me in, coach. All right, hold on. Some comic book hunters wants to come in here, so sending you a link, my friend. And remember, this is a penis-free broadcast. Don't go wanging me. All right, so what else is good about this is, fuck, I forgot. What else is good about this? Oh, this version of Comixology, if that's what you're going to use, allows you to buy books right on the device. So if you are sitting at home and you want to buy a book, you can just go, okay, buy it. 2 seconds, you're done. On the iPad, you can't buy books through the app. You have to go to your browser and you have to buy books that way. And why? Because fucking Apple's greedy and they want to take 30% off of all purchases made through the device. And Amazon, Jeff Bezos says, fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. That's what he's saying. In between getting a little, on the side. So, yeah. So you can buy the things right from here. You don't have to, jump through hoops and buy your books through a browser. If you want to buy something, boom. If you want to buy this Decorum book, which I don't recommend because fucking Decorum is terrible. I would line my bird cage with Decorum and I'd buy this and just to erase it off my tablet. Dylan liked it. I gave him a what for that, but it's up to him. But that's a terrible book. So if you can get an Apple iPod, if you can afford an Apple iPad, then certainly the screen and everything is the best you can get. The books look fantastic on a pro screen or a regular screen. But They look pretty damn good on this one as well. And for the amount of money you're saving, I'd go with this. It really is the best deal out there. You know. But yeah, I mean, I know I read 90 MF Comics on because I know he just had a kid, so he's gone to getting some digital too. But as I said, digital can be expensive if you're not, if you're paying $3.39 for a Batman book here, you might as well order it online for $2.59 through DBCS or someplace. Even though with the shipping it comes up to be about the same. So that's if you like books, but some people just like having digital comics. They don't, they don't have the room that these things take up, and they just like that, Hey,
Yo, what's up, man? I had a little trouble with that link for some reason.
huh?
I had to open
It
it.
should work.
I had to open it up in Chrome. That was all.
Yeah, you got to use Chrome. It doesn't work on a lot of other browsers.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I got it. So you read most of yours digitally?
So Batcave, Batcave is saying, what's going on? Let me get over here so I can.
Oh, why the fuck? Were you here for? So the big old 13-inch don't hit him in the face.
Why the fuck do you have 4 different kinds of tablets, Scarpad? I don't know. Because I used to work and I had too much fucking money, and now I don't work and I'm poor, and I'll have these for the rest of my life. But yeah,
are you an Apple guy?
I am an Apple guy when I can afford it. Yeah, I like the Apple stuff. I have a MacBook. I don't use it that much. I have a cheaper, older MacBook. I had an iMac that just went belly up, and it was 11 years old, and I can't really blame. But I have a lot of PCs too. But I think for tablets, I think they make the best tablets. I've worked with Android and a lot of the Android stuff. Some of the apps aren't designed as well, but you can get a good Android tablet too. As I said, Samsung makes them. And
yeah, I noticed that when it comes to tablets, most people are pretty much iPad.
Well, I think it's just because they almost own the market in it. I think Android, they gave up the market for tablets. I think Google make them still. I'm not even sure Google makes them. I know Samsung makes them.
Right.
But Amazon, but they kind of gave up the market for that. And I think the reason was because the apps, I don't know, maybe a little bit different now, but the apps were designed for their phones. So when you blew them up on a tablet, they didn't look all that great. They didn't work that well. But on the iPad, you got things that are designed for a tablet. So
yeah, it's crazy how all that shit works, dude. I know somebody who created some app or something, and I don't even know what he did or what, but man, he's driving a Tesla. He has like every little freaking electronic badass thing you could think of, and I still never asked him what he made, but
he probably made a fart app.
I don't know, dude. It was I have no. He's younger than me, and he's
Well, yeah. I mean, you see some of those developers; they're like 13 years old, and it's not. It really isn't. If you're a programmer, programming for this stuff isn't that difficult. It's difficult enough, but anybody can make an app with some of the new stuff they have out. It's just a matter of making the one that people are going to want to use and make some bucks out of it.
Well, imagine how like all those developers were back in the day, where they had to. I mean, you still have to write code and everything, but I'm sure there's like templates you use now.
There is now. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, I bet you it's way easier.
I did tech support for 20 years, but I wasn't a programmer, but I could probably figure it out if I had to.
Mm-hmm. So, just by what you've done in the past, I'm sure.
Yeah, just by kind of fucking around with the apps and whatnot. Yeah, hitting your head. Well, yeah, as I said, you don't want the big 13-inch iPad. That thing will conk you in the skull.
Yep.
But do you read digitally? Have you read digitally or?
I haven't yet, and I only have my phone. I don't have a laptop. I don't have a tablet. I don't even have a PC. They just kind of in my personal life, they just kind of dwindled down. Didn't really need a PC. My laptop took a shit. Had the blue screen to death, and I had like 7 days straight of music on it. And so that really hurt me. I was like, no, like every music, everything from like when I was a kid too, and so that was a bummer.
Was it stuff that you ripped yourself, or was it stuff you got from other places?
Yeah, exactly. So like I would get a CD, put it on there, and I'd get my cousin's CDs. Like, he had the Wu-Tang Clan when I was younger, so I like stole that from him, ripped it, and gave it back to him without him knowing, and like so there was quite a bit of distance from me. Like I haven't even typed on a computer in probably man. It's probably over a year. Like I haven't touched a laptop or even touched a computer. Which is fine because I mean these damn phones can do anything now. I mean, look, I'm on here. Fine, I'm editing my videos. I mean, it takes a little longer, of course, using your finger and like having to like stretch out the line instead of just the timeline.
Is this your phone right now that you're on?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they look great for. I mean, they do a lot of stuff. I tell you, people for reading comics, I find that most people that have read comics on their phone and that's all they've done, they don't like digital. And because you can't read, it's tough to read a comic on a phone. Now, some of these new comics are pretty big, new phones are pretty big, and you can do the guided view, which I like, and that's not too bad. But to really experience it, you have to get a tablet. Even on a laptop, it's not good. It's not a pleasant experience. But
because you don't get to like flip the laptop, right. And that's a cool feature that they have. Because I noticed on some of so I did check it out because I wanted to see like what was all about. What was it? It was some free comic book.
Yeah, just the fact that you go there and flip it like a page.
Yeah, and then I seen one where it actually like makes the page noise and like the page kind of flips and stuff.
Yeah. And this feels like a book. This feels like you have a comic in your hand. So once you get something like that, I find that the experience is a lot better.
Hey, C-Fat.
But yeah, I mean, I read, and of course, you can get, as we were talking about before, that Hoopla app, which if you have a library card, they have a ton of books up there. They have music and videos and all other stuff too, but they have a ton of comics and graphic novels, and it's a great thing, especially if you're not rich. I mean, there's so much stuff you can buy now. You can't afford it all. I can't afford to buy every book that I want to read. So having something like that is really indispensable.
Yeah, see, I'm a poor bastard too. Like, that's why it's awesome getting these AOKs from these guys, dude, because I would never, I mean, I would, don't get me wrong, but it would take me so long to get even a short box, because, okay, well, do I want to buy, a few books or go get a short box? Like, I don't know. My money's tight, pretty tight, really tight. I think like most people it is.
Yeah, most people like us is we have too many hobbies and not enough cash to support them is the problem.
Yeah, it don't smell like a comic.
Well, that could be a good thing compared to some of the dirty ass books I've been buying. I tell you, my comic, my LCS has like, I would say 100 long boxes, but man, he's got 400 books crammed into each one, and they're all stinky, disgusting.
Is that where you can't even, you got to like pick out a stack like that just to go through them, huh?
Pretty much. You can't do this.
Yeah,
and they're all
that bugs me.
And they're all like, you can tell he bought these things from like somebody's basement, and the bags are half, melting, and
that gnarly yellow that they get on it.
Yeah, and now, when you read the book, it has like a grit on it, like nasty.
How long are you supposed to wait until you like rebag and board? Because I know, aren't you supposed to? Because don't those bags kind of lose their?
Yeah, I got behind me. You can see that's everything there, and I got about maybe. I just went over and went to short boxes and everything because I had long boxes and they'll kill you. So I did a rebox, and I got about maybe 20 short boxes. And I just went through recently and rebagged everything. But I would say the books were almost 10 to 20 years old. Some of them were 20 years old in the same bags. And they weren't too bad.
They weren't
too bad. As long as they're kept in a room that's fairly climate controlled, they'll stay okay.
Is that what it is? Pretty much the heat, the cold that makes it a little brittle or something, the plastic?
The books, the boards start bending a little bit, especially if they're a little tight in the box and stuff. So, I went through and I redid all mine. It's expensive. You can't, they say every 3 years, but I could never do that. and I don't think I'd have the
Yeah.
patience to do it. So
No shit, dude. That takes a while to do. Like just putting, because I only had like 30 by the time I got my bags and boards, and it was so funny because I was sitting on stream with Superior Hero Cody, and I was just putting, the boards in the bags, even though I wasn't putting the books in them yet. And of course, me being the rookie I am, I put every single board backwards. And I made the conscious decision too. I felt them. I'm like, okay, one's shiny, one's a little matte.
yeah,
Made the
but
conscious decision, and I was pissed, dude. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
well, yeah, it's sometimes it's tough to tell the difference between both sides.
Yeah, you almost have to look at it in a glare. That's what I was doing. I had to look.
I got it down now. I can feel it. Yeah, that's the glossy side. But
Mm.
some of the old boards, like some of the old books that had boards, and they weren't. The boards were acid free and all that back then. They weren't like they are now. So, but
So what
I
is
would
that acid? Does the acid like eat the ink, or does it eat the plastic, or what?
I think it eats the paper and the plastic. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but most of the boards
Oof.
now, unless you're buying really cheap boards, most of them are acid free.
What most people probably buy the BCW.
I try to
Or
buy BCW or Max Pros or something. Or
oh,
whatever I think
Max
they're
Pros is the
called.
other one.
There's a couple different brands out there. Sometimes, like my LCS, the guy buys these no-name brand ones so he can maximize his profit. I don't get them from
Oh,
them; they're junk. But if you go to a reputable LCS, they usually sell pretty good stuff. And you can get, if you really are picky, you can get the Mylars, but they're a lot more money.
is that
But
just like the thicker plastic, pretty much?
thicker plastic, better plastic, clearer plastic, so it looks better and the book looks better in it.
Okay.
And then I try to buy the resealables as much as possible because I don't like using tape unless I really have to. So I like the resealable bags.
Yeah, that's a bitch too. Is putting all those pieces of tape, dude. 2 pieces of tape per freaking book, man.
Hey, Superior,
Yo,
how's it going?
Cody, jump on, bro.
But yeah, right now I get all my books through the mail through mail order for the most part, and
Yeah.
I get them bagged and boarded. So I don't usually have to buy bags and boards because I paid to get them bagged and boarded when they come to me. So
Oh, so that's an option you can do. I didn't even know that.
yeah, it's an option you
So
can do,
if you get it from like whoever your online source would be or whatnot.
yeah, most of them
Okay.
offer it. Yeah, and I'd rather have the books come through the mail in a bag and board than have them come outside of a bag and board.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of like a little extra protection, I would say, too.
Yeah.
Just ensure the safety of the book.
Yeah, and I always buy when I buy the boards and bags, I get Silver Age for that little extra space.
That's what Kevin. I heard him talking about that a few months ago from 1-2 Comic Talks.
Yeah,
He was going through some
yeah, I know he does them that way too.
yeah, and I was like, wow, that's a good idea because I know
They're
that
too
some of
tight.
my
Yeah,
rolled books barely even fit into those, man. And that
right.
if I had to get
it causes the book to bend a little bit too when you do that when you cram it in there. So I
yeah.
like the Silver Age stuff for all the books. But yeah, I said my LCS, I find it easy to order online, and then you get the cover that you want, you can get the book that you want, and the discount's better. The only thing that sometimes will kill you is shipping, because I was ordering from things from another world, and they're out in Oregon, and the shipping was kind of high. So I just recently switched over to Discount Comic Book Service. They're closer to me, and the shipping is lower. And also they gave a little bit better discount. So now I'm getting a little bit better deal than I was before.
Where are you? Montana? No, that's Mad Mike, right?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I think Discount Comic Book Service is in New Jersey, I believe.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you so you just get on? Boy, there's so many comic book shops that probably send stuff everywhere, huh? Like, did you watch Comic Book Men at all? You ever watch that?
Oh, you mean the Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to go to that store one day just to see how it is. Because that seemed pretty cool. I don't know. We don't have comic book shops over here, dude.
Now,
if we do, I haven't found them. California. I'm in Santa Margarita. It's like central coast of California. I'm like 3 miles south of San Francisco or 3 hours south
Because now
of
we're
San Francisco.
1-2 Comic Talk. He's in California, right?
Yeah, he's in LA. Yeah.
That's
I think
yeah.
he
Yeah,
yeah,
because he says he has something like 55 comic shops. That
that's in LA. Yeah, dude. They have everything there,
you
but
mean it's not like that in California, all over the place?
no, I have only
Oh,
1,400 people in my town, dude, and I can't like we don't even have a stop sign on our main drag right here. Like it's crazy.
huh. Yeah, I know.
But
It's
yeah,
like I only have 2 in my area. That's it.
I've
Yeah.
found I've found two. I've only been to one so far around me within like a 30-mile radius. So maybe there's more. I don't know. Maybe they
Mhm.
just haven't put it up online or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well,
There has to be more
I
though.
was getting my books once a month, which is kind of a drag. So I just recently went to twice a month, just for shipping purposes. But that, that's tough. If you want to read them right away, then it's tough to mail order out. But I find most of the books I can pretty much read when I get them. I don't have to read them right away. And but I am buying digital for most of the independent stuff I read. I'm buying digitally.
And then so do those come out as well on like Wednesday?
The digital comes out the same day as New Comic
Yeah.
Book Day. Yeah, they put out the
Okay.
same day.
Yeah,
And
because I was wondering about that.
the nice thing about Comixology is if you decide you want to like subscribe to a book, you just put it on your pull list, and then when it comes out Wednesday morning at midnight, it's there. You don't have to do a thing.
Oh, that is
So it's,
badass.
yeah, so it's. I mean, you can have your books all just ready to go. When you wake up, which is
Hey, Samuel
nice.
David,
Comics for all people. How you doing?
R&R Comics in Houston, Texas. What was he saying? Oh, he orders from a place in Texas.
Yeah, there's a lot of places you can mail. A lot of places mail order. Midtown, and there's a ton of them.
So is it pretty much just like the big, like I would have to guess. Well, no, because I went onto that shop on that what is it, Secret Stash, and they said they'll send stuff to you too. So
Yeah.
it's probably just depending on what who owns it. Okay. And then it's shipping is pretty much just shipping, right? Like under 2 pounds or something, it's a certain amount or
Shipping's pretty expensive actually. It's I think that's why I switched. I was paying like a month full of books. I was paying something like at least $15 for a month full of books. So I think when I'm getting them at discount, I think it's going to be like $7.50 for 2 weeks of books. It's going to be about the same, but it was a little higher getting them from Oregon. But yeah, you're going to pay about 50. If you get like a good amount of books, like probably 12 to 15, 20 books, it's going to be about $15 to ship those.
okay.
Which is about the same price as, maybe it's a little bit more, but around the same price like you see on some of these online auctions when Metaphorical and all those guys do the auctions. I think they do like
Like
nine bucks, and then
and
anything over
15 or something.
9.15 and 9.16. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So it's pretty much like what the going rate is. Just you pay for the weight, right? Isn't that what it is?
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think something like that. When I send books out, like if I send out an AOK or something, I send them out media mail. It takes longer, but it's cheaper.
What does that mean? Like,
Media mail is if you're sending like books or comic books, it's a cheaper rate, but it takes longer to get there.
shit, who cares, right?
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure somebody, as long as you just don't tell the person that you're sending them a book, they'll never know.
Yeah. Hey,
Like superior man, he freaking sent me that plastic short box. Dude, you should have seen how much that was to ship, bro.
Oh yeah, you sent your whole short box. That must have been a lot to ship.
Well, it was the plastic short box, the BCW one that you get to put together. That one.
Oh, I got one of those down the floor. You see that one? That's real heavy.
But
they also have those white ones, kind of plasticky, but not like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a polyethylene plastic.
Okay.
Those are a little bit lighter than those, but yeah, that must cost a lot of money. But how much do they cost?
It said so on the sticker. You know how they slap the sticker on, and when it gets somewhere else, they slap it back on again. It said
Easy flex.
like 23, and then they added like another $2 to it for some fucking reason, also somewhere. So I don't know why. Hey, what's up, Z? What's up, Comic Don?
Anybody want to jump on? Let me know. Send me an IG message, and I'll drop you the link in the Instagram. Yeah, I was gonna. I was gonna send out a box to somebody, but man, it's just so expensive to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he do? He just wrapped them all up. It must have weighed a ton.
Well, so he sent it in two different. He sent the actual BCW box in the original box that it came in. You know the.
Oh, okay.
And all they did is slap the postage on it, and he taped up the edges a little bit more. Came in fine.
And then he shipped you the books separate.
Yep, in a separate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because at first I was like, "Holy cow!" Because the box, the BCW. I don't know why I can't say that shit. It looked like it was kind of like smushed, like had more stuff in it. So I was like, "Oh man, I better open this to make sure that there's nothing else in there." And there wasn't. But
did you find that plastic box a pain in the ass to put together?
No, it wasn't too bad.
I looked at the thing. I said, "This looks easy." But some of the sides, getting the sides forced in there.
So what I did. So you know how they have like those. You just gotta pinch the sides. Like what I did was middle to end, and then they went in perfect, dude.
I had one side that would not go, man. I almost took the thing and threw it out the window. Fucking piece of shit. Once it was built, I love them. I was going to do my whole collection of those, but that's expensive. You can do it, but you're going to buy them in bulk. Like if you buy them in tins, you get them for cheaper.
Because what are they, like $20?
They're $20 on Amazon, yeah. But I think if you buy them from BCW in bulk, I think you can get them for like 14. But that's still a lot of money. $140 for 10 of them.
Comic Don. My name is some comic book hunter. Same on IG, and I think I have the same little avatar thing too. I drew some comic book hunter.
Hey Jigs, how's it going? Jigs with the marathon, 38 hours. I never checked to see whether that
did it upload.
Posted. I don't know. It wasn't the other day when I checked.
I saw it and it said it couldn't open or something.
I think it's just too big. I think YouTube just doesn't have any experience processing a file that big. It could still be processing for all you know.
Right. Yeah, because it takes my 20-minute videos freaking half hour to do.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like.
Yeah, I want to know how people are sending AOKs. Like if you decide you want to send an AOK to somebody, how do you get their address without letting the person know that you're getting their address to send them something?
Because now I know this now that there's at least 7 people with my address in the community.
You just got somebody else?
Yeah, it's everywhere. There's like Perry has it, Jigs has it for sure. I think Z has it. Superior, Cody has it. Hero and the Kid has mine. Mad Mike has mine, and there's a couple more I think. So.
Yeah, because I definitely want to start sending out some more AOKs because I want to thin out my collection. So I got to get rid of some of these books.
Yeah, that's how I would, because I want to do some AOKs when I get some more stuff too, because I think they're so awesome, dude. And so I was thinking about that. Like, I saved Jig's address just in case I want to send him something. I saved Cody's address just in case I want to send him something. But.
Yeah, too bad there's not a comic book directory like with everybody's name in it.
Oh, that'd be smart, dude.
$1 million idea.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to jump on here, just send me an IG post and I'll drop you the link. I'll probably be on here for a little bit longer. You guys all missed my digital explanation where I was whacking myself in the head with my with my iPad. This thing weighs a ton.
Man, I can't read. It's hard for me to read in bed because, like, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, as soon as I start to read, I think it was like when I was a kid, dude, or something. Ever since then, my eyes get all like kind of like heavy as soon as I start to read. But last night I read like 4 or 5 comics, so I felt pretty good. I was like, all
Yeah,
right,
I
dude,
don't.
keep going.
I find that happens if I read like on my Kindle, if I'm reading a book, a novel, like it's just a book. But if I'm reading a comic, I don't find I fall asleep because it's visual and it's words as opposed to just words.
And then in my mind too is like I know that it's going to be ending soon, so like so it helps me out. And I agree with you, Z. Yeah, I wouldn't be sending it to just people I don't know. Like, I don't know. You guys are all cool, so I'll send it out to you guys for sure. And then if you guys want to send it out to somebody you guys trust, that's okay with me as well.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Now with all this coronavirus stuff going on, you could be sending somebody a box of death,
right? Get a whole bunch of
hey, let me send
air from China, bro. Oh no!
Every comic will be freshly coughed upon. Sterilize your books.
Yeah, I got my gloves.
Gotta be reading my books.
CFAB, you're so funny, dude. I want to send him Little Pony. What's up with this Little Pony shit?
Some guys love Little Pony, the bronies. That was a few years back, but now there's still people that like My Little Pony. I know for a fact that Perry likes Powder Puff Girls. So
hold on. So who wrote that or who animated that? Because I think the same person that did that did like Dexter's Laboratory. Maybe even Samurai Jack too.
Well, probably, I don't know. They were all done by the same people back then.
Yeah, there wasn't too many.
I never really watched. The only one I ever watched on Nickelodeon was Ren and Stimpy. I like that one. That's about it.
Ooh, that was a good one, dude. That was a good one.
Except I didn't like the later ones when they moved to Spike and they made them adult. And they had Ren and Stimpy like boning each other. Like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Just because you can show Ren and Stimpy boning each other, not something I want to see. I don't want to see Powdered Toast Man's wang. I don't want to see how the horses hung. I don't want to see any of that shit. The fact that they had censorship on Nickelodeon made the cartoon good. You motherfuckers don't draw a wang on my Powdered Toast Man. Remember that?
Don't draw the way.
I didn't like the newer ones, but I like the older ones. The older ones are good.
I don't even remember the newer ones. I'm glad
they didn't last long. They lasted like half a season, and people said, "Fuck that."
Yeah, because I honestly don't remember them at all.
They were horrible. They were horrible. Yeah.
So what about have you ever watched that Super Jail?
No.
Super Jail? No? Oh man, that's a good one. Good animation, crazy animation.
Is that something that's on now or?
It might still be on, but I don't think so. But you can get it on.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of like Cartoon Network or anything anymore. I was watching, I watched some of the Robot Chicken. Is that still on? I don't know. Some of that's.
So I downloaded the Adult Swim, app, and they have all kinds of free TV shows. Yeah, all good ones. Dude, like shit I forgot about. I was like, oh man, that was a good one too.
Yeah,
like Home Movies. Do you remember that Home Movies?
Yeah,
where does that kid that was a great show too.
That and the C Lab and all that. I remember those back then. Yeah. But I haven't watched a lot of that stuff lately.
I haven't either, and then I downloaded that because I wanted to watch. Well, I've been watching Samurai Jack for the past, I don't know, a couple months. Been going back to it and stuff.
But now,
hey, what's up, Javi?
Didn't that come on? Didn't Netflix pick that back up, Samurai Jack? I thought. Or maybe not.
No, I know that there was a 5th season that went up to. So Samurai Jack was on Cartoon Network, Cartoon Network, and then it got bumped to Adult Swim after season 5 because they said some jokes in there. I was like, "Whoa, dude, that's crazy!" Like, I don't remember them being like that risque and shit. And then I looked and it was on the Adult Swim, so that season 5 jumped up to Adult Swim. because before it wasn't like I wasn't really crazy or anything. Hell yeah, home movies was bomb, dude. It made me want to start like drawing again. I don't know why, just like how it was.
Oh, I always liked Robot Chicken. I mean, even the newer, that thing's been out for like 12 years, but even the newer ones,
Yeah.
some of them are just hilarious.
Yeah, they do a really good job, dude. I love that. And then there's this other show also, kind of like Robot Chicken. Shoot, what's it called? Super Mansion, I think. It's with the guy from Walter from Breaking Bad. He does the voice of one of the characters, and it's like the stop clay animation. Really good show. It's a really good show. I forgot where. I think you could find that on Crackle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just got done watching the advanced copy of tonight's Walking Dead. I know everybody's still watching Walking Dead, but tonight is the episode where they do Alpha. If anybody remembers Alpha from the comic books, and no spoilers. It's similar, but not the same. Did you ever read Walking Dead as a comic book or no?
To be honest, I had no idea that Walking Dead was a comic book until honestly like 4 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I wasn't even, like I said, I didn't know really anything about comics until I started watching that Comic Book Men.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I was like, oh, whoa, dude, that's a freaking comic book first? And it tripped me out.
Yeah, we have a shop up here. If you like Comic Book Men, there's a guy in I think he's in Marlboro or Methuen, and he does a show like that on the internet. It's a comic book shop down in Massachusetts. It's called Comic Book Palace. He is about 50, have you read that? Have you watched that with Glenn?
Yeah, he's I like his style, and especially how whoever's filming it does a really good job.
Yeah, the guy, I think his name is Amadio or something. But
yeah,
they have about 50 episodes. He puts one out about once a month, and they're pretty entertaining.
Okay, so they're actual episodes, because I just see him every so often drop like the new comic books.
No,
that's entertainment.
Yeah, no, he's a funny guy. On YouTube, he has opinions and he sticks with them. On YouTube, if you go to the channel on YouTube, there's about 50 half-hour episodes.
Okay.
And I started watching them, and I watched most of them in like 2 nights. They're pretty entertaining.
They're that good, huh?
They're that good. Yeah, if you like Comic Book Man, you'll like it.
Yeah, because dude, I bet you and him would get along very well. You guys seem like.
Yeah, he's like, I think he hates like somebody, like if you mention an artist to him, he hates. He goes off. Tangent for about a half an hour. Yeah, I know he like John Romita Jr. He hates that guy. Anybody mentions him to him, he just goes off. But it's pretty good. Funny. Yeah, he's only about. I think his shop. I'd like to go there sometime. He's about 2 hours away from me. I'd like to check him out sometime.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of his, like I said, the new comic book stuff, and it's just great. Because he's like, yeah, who cares about this piece of shit? And just goes on to the next one. I'm like, damn, all right.
Yeah, and he's selling the stuff. He's not afraid to say it. It's like, so people are buying this, but it's a piece of shit. He'll just tell you that in his face. Yeah,
I love it.
Pretty funny stuff.
Yep, kind of just an older guy. Don't give a fuck.
No, I think he's been there for about 25 years, and he has a pretty consistent client base, and it's pretty cool. They all come in and talk about the books and stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it, because I know I did see that it said comic book comic book documentary series or something like that.
Yeah, they have a movie that came out, like a 90-minute movie, like I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and then after that they started putting out these half-hour shows. So if you go back, you can watch them in order. They're pretty good.
Dude, that was the whole reason why I wanted to start YouTube, is because I wanted to find something like Comic Book Men. I was like, all right, dude, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go record myself getting books. And then just holding your phone and recording even yourself is just like, what the like? People are all like, hey, what's that? It's like, just on a conference call.
I thought AMC kind of fucked them over. They didn't really even give them a chance to have a final episode. I think it's canceled. They haven't made it in a while.
Yeah,
they just stopped. They never even gave them a final episode.
Well, they did that Funko Pop That was like their final
I guess,
episode.
but they never really said it was a final episode.
Yeah, not at all. It just disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, Ming still does that. He still goes live almost every other day.
Well, those
on,
guys all have podcasts, and they all have podcasts
Yeah.
like that. So they're
Yeah,
just
that's
not on
what.
TV.
Yeah, that's what I kind of didn't like is that like it just turned into a podcast that I don't know. I guess
Well,
podcasts are podcasts, so they go off every
well,
direction.
it was kind of a podcast before it was a show, and then they made it a show. But
yeah,
it was scripted. I mean, you knew those guys knew who was coming in ahead of time. A lot of that stuff was set up and made up, and
oh yeah,
and I'm sure like if you walked in there off the street and you try to sell the guy something, you wouldn't get what he's giving for you on the show.
oh yeah. There was some things that I was like, dude, that's totally just for the shits of it, man.
Yeah.
Like it bugged me how like it seemed like the first 2 seasons were pretty. I mean, of course they knew they had to mic everybody up and stuff, but it seemed more genuine the first 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, they did the same. It was really just a ripoff of what was that auction? Was that auction thing they did on Discovery? The one where people just went in and sold shit, the swap shit. Pawn shops.
Pawn Stars or whatever.
It was just Pawn Stars for comic books is all it was.
Yeah, really was, for sure.
I mean, if you watch one of those shows, they're all basically the same.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to probably come up with a brand new idea, I mean, shit. Everything's been going on for freaking years, so.
I mean, I wouldn't even, I don't know how everybody else feels, and maybe they can talk about this in the chat, but I mean, I don't think I would ever personally, I have nothing against the guy, and I know he's got to make money, but I would never personally go into an LCS and sell a book there, or try to sell a book. I'd rather sell a book to somebody in the community, even if I have to give it away, because he's not going to give me nothing for it. Or even if he does give me something, I would rather sell it in the community. I don't think I've ever sold a book like that. I've never walked in to a comic book store and say, I got, this, I want to sell it to you. I've never done that. Ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember this place. Well, it's still a comic book shop here, but I remember when I was younger, it was called Captain Nemo's. I think it's still called Captain Nemo's. But I had all the Pokemon cards. And, I had them for maybe 3 years, and I decided, oh, man, this is the time to sell them. You know what I mean? So without my mom knowing, I took,
I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make $1 million. And the guy said, I'll give you fucking $2 for that thing.
Yeah, he was like, I'll give you 15 for 1,500 of these cards. I was like, okay. I had the Charizard all holographic. I had them all, man. And now, dude, some of them, I think I still have a few somewhere in storage or something, but it's not. I shouldn't have done that back then because I was literally I rode my bike down there.
You don't know. I mean, people. I've done a lot of that shit too. I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff that I should have. I
still have my Pog collection, dude.
I sold a Batman Adventures, the one with Batgirl on it, like number 12. I sold it for way less than what it was worth, and I kill myself about it. But how long have I been collecting? I collect, most of these books you see back here, the majority of them I collected back in the 80s and 90s. And then I got out of it around 2000 and maybe 2002, 2003. And then I would say probably around 2012 or 13, I got back into it. So there's a lot more older books there than newer books. And I would say, back around 80, 85. Everybody started collecting around the time the Batman movie came out. 89, Michael Keaton movie came out. Everybody jumped on and started collecting comics at that point.
Because everybody thought, or kind of jumpstart the comic book again, huh?
I mean, when I was a kid, a little kid, I went down. You could, back when you could buy a comic at a grocery store or a convenience store. I used to ride my bike down. I'd buy 70s Marvel. I got some of those in there, Avengers and Hulk and all that. So I would say I started buying them when I was a kid in the 70s, but I had very few. But then once I started working back in the 80s, that's when I started buying more.
So do you have all your old books from when you were a kid, or did you?
I have pretty much anything I bought. I didn't buy a lot of them when I was a kid. I still have a few of them, yeah.
That's cool.
I would say I got about 1,800 books right now, which isn't a lot, I don't think.
I mean, yeah, like Rob Worst has what, like
that sounds like a lot, but I never thought it was a lot. I don't have nearly what Rob has. And, I was watching Rob and I was watching Mr. White Gloves the other day on a stream. I wanted to take all my fucking books out and burn them.
Right? That is insane.
Books and you're finding Drek from the fucking 80s, and he's pulling out 12-cent Thors and Avengers, and
it was nuts.
I'm pulling out shit like the Wild Wild West. It looks like it was drawn by a fucking 2-year-old. That bullshit. Or I'm pulling stuff out like Tomorrow Nights by, what is it, Epic? Are they still even around? Epic Comics? I don't think so. Crap. Or I'm pulling out things like, Marvel Brute Force. Series.
Dude, that is the worst.
That's a fucking dolphin with a gun, which is kind of cool if you have to admit it. That's probably why I bought it. I said, shit, this book might suck, but it's got
Hippity Hop
on a gun with it.
Dude, Hippity Hop. I want to draw him. The kangaroo.
Kangaroo in a fucking tractor.
Oh, shit.
I admit, that is kind of a fucking cool book.
What number is that?
It's number 1. First
premiere. Oh, number 1. I have the number 2 version, I think.
The whole book is a number 2.
Yeah, what is the Protectors of the Environment?
That's number 2, I think.
Yep, that's the one I got.
How many issues did this piece of shit go for? Oh, it's 4.
I bet you 2.
No, it went for, it's supposed to go 4, but did the 4 ever come out? That's a question.
Yeah, that was a weird book. I was like, oh, cool, for $1, I'll pick it up. And then I read it. I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty weird.
And then I got shit like 0 Hour. That sucked. That 0 Hour number 1.
0 Hour. What is
that was it? That's another one of these DC reboot the fucking universe books. 0 Hour. Not good. But I do have some stuff. Like I got Punisher, and this is my book of crap. My box of crap. Like what the fuck? I bought Bugs Bunny. What the fuck was I buying that for back in the day? I don't know.
Hey, dude, some of those, like, there's one Scooby-Doo that's worth some money, just because the low print run.
There's a Batman with a demon.
Huh. Yeah, like when I bought all these books, or not all these books, but like the first time I went to the dollar bin, I guess you could say, it was just at the used bookstore.
Most of these books are in the dollar bin, probably.
Yeah, and that's what I was just grabbing kind of what looked interesting, and boy, some of it was trash.
War. Yeah. Well, I mean, comics, and that's why. Well, that's why that's why the whole thing crashed, because there was so many publishers and there was so many.
What up, JB?
And there was so many books out there. A lot of them were just junk. Hey, Discovery, how's it going?
Yeah, it seems like the price range when like the book price went to like $1 to $1.25, it seemed like there was a lot of like just weird books in that era.
I still got the Ren and Stimpy with the Protect the stupid stinky thing in there. I haven't opened that up. Oh, that smells like shit.
Oh my gosh. So you know how we were talking about the coronavirus earlier? Chris sent me a freaking link. Did Chris send it to you? Carolina Chris?
No.
Where they're doing the coronavirus challenge. Where they're licking airplane toilet seats.
No, yeah, that's okay.
That's a real thing.
That's not a bad cover. But you know the thing that got me in the 80s and 90s, I was buying anything. I'd walk in, I was spending way too much money. Oh, new number 1, new series. I just buy it. And that's why a lot of stuff is just, I still like them, but man, now I'm a lot more discriminating than I was back then.
I have a feeling that's how I'm going to be getting pretty soon. It's like I feel like I'm getting ready to find what I enjoy a little more. Because like I said, I'm so new to it. I'm picking up everything.
Well, you know what it was? It was in the 80s and 90s, and that's why I think they wouldn't bust too, is say you were a Batman fan, or say you were a Spider-Man fan. They put those characters in like every friggin' book. Like every book had this book, new book's coming out. It's got a Batman appearance. Batman's in it, and I said, "Oh, I have a Batman. I gotta get it because I got to, it ties in somehow." And then
The
you buy all these,
completionists.
then you buy these side books, and it's just like, way too much. Yeah, but when you're when you're going through your box and you got stuff like that, and then you see some of these books like White Gloves and Rob has it's like, but I like my collection. I collect, of course, the channel comic treks. I might collect some Star Trek books, and I have a lot of Star Trek books, and I still love collecting those. I want to start getting. I want to get more of the gold key runs. I want to buy a lot more of those.
When did the there's a book down over here at my antique shop. Well, it's actually a magazine. It's called the Starlog.
Yeah, I've seen some of your antique shop. Starlog.
What is that Starlog about?
Starlog was pretty huge. I have a lot of the Starlogs. I bought these back in the 80s and 70s. Starlog was a book they put out in the 70s that did, it did all reportings of like science fiction, fantasy, horror. And then they came out with Fangoria. I don't know if you've ever seen those. Fangoria was the horror.
So this was prior?
Starlog was first. Fangoria was a sister magazine of Starlog.
Oh, and that was more based for like the horror stuff, right?
Fangoria was just horror, and this was just that.
Okay.
And, I have most of them. I lost a lot of them. The first 10 issues or so, I think I don't know what happened to them, but I have a lot of the ones here.
So $2, that's a good buy, you think, for a Starlog?
It depends. I mean, it depends. What issue it is, what's in it. I mean, some of them had a lot of good stuff in it, and the first announcement of Star Wars and stuff like that. Like the first announcement of the Star Trek movie back then and stuff like that.
Yeah, this one that I saw down there was kind of like an all red cover. I mean, of course, there's probably a shit ton of red covers, and then it had like, dang, it's been a while. Had like 4 people's heads on it. Like I don't even remember who they were.
Back in the 70s, the big thing was the poster books. These were Star Trek poster books. They basically were posters. These would open out to gigantic 24 by 36 inch posters you could hang on your wall.
So
they'd unfold, and they'd have all stories and stuff in them. They put those out, and then they also came out with. I think I have a couple. They also came out with ones for Star Wars, like The Empire Strikes Back. And then I have a lot of the. These were, you used to be able to go in movies, and movies when they premiered had programs like a baseball game. You'd go and get a program. Well, then you could go in when you buy the concessions. You could buy a program for a movie. They don't do it anymore. So we used to go to movies and buy the program, and I have a lot of these nice programs from Raiders and Star Wars.
So that's like your movie box almost, huh?
Yeah, this is pretty much all the movie box. You got stuff like the Star Wars stuff in the Empire.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering about that Scarpad.
And of course, Marvel put out a ton of these giant magazine adaptions of the movies.
Yeah, I picked up one of those Star Wars reprints of Star Wars 1.
Yeah, this is the original one, but I have the reprint one as well. This is that's the original, and that's the reprint. And then Alien.
Nice. That's such a badass movie. I think it still holds up today.
Alien, the illustrated story. This came out during the time the movie came out. This was the actual comic of the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
And it actually this was based on the original screenplay. So it's quite a bit different than the movie was. That was put out by Heavy Metal. And then,
touch my face. I'm going,
Yeah, you almost feel like you don't want to go into antique stores now and buy magazines with everything that's going on. It's like defumigate them first.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
let's see what else we got here. Discovery Bay. Yeah, if anybody wants to jump on, I'll probably stay for another 10, 15, 20 minutes if anybody wants to jump on.
I ain't afraid of that shit, dude. I don't know.
Well, you don't have to be afraid of it. I am
Yeah.
fucking afraid. I'm fucking afraid of it. I'm an old fuck. You're not. You're the one that's giving it to me that's going to kill me.
I won't even feel it, and then it'll get transferred to you.
You will recover from it. I'm going to die from it. So I can understand where they're coming from. That's why they want people to stay in. My parents are like 90 and 95, so they're the ones that are going to have to get it from the younger people, and that's the problem. So
yeah, because that's really what's going to happen. All the young people are be like, "Oh no, I don't get it, or I haven't gotten it."
Well, they carry it, and then they give it to us, and then it's old fucks just die. Hey, if I was 20 or 30 again, then I would probably say, "Yeah, fuck them. They're 60, let them die." But now that I'm close to 60, it's like, maybe I shouldn't say that.
I haven't been outside in 5 days.
Well, that's because you're fucking streaming all the time. Get off the streaming pipe, Jigs. 38
you've been
hours.
streaming 4 days of straight stream.
You grew into your chair. I don't doubt you haven't been outside. I might actually go out and stream from outside. How would that be? The fresh air,
Dude.
Fuck that.
It's been raining nonstop here for like 4 or 5 days. I haven't even been able to go outside.
No, it's nice and sunny here. So it's gorgeous weather, but so yeah, doesn't look like too many people jumped in today. So what did you read last week? Tell me what books you read.
Like I said, I don't read the new stuff, but
no new stuff at all.
I haven't read anything new. Nothing new.
What do you read for old?
Right now or last night, let's see, what did I read? I read Nighthawk or Shadowhawk. I read, what did I read? It was so late I almost forget. I read like 4 books. Why can't I think? Holy cow. Why can't I remember what I read? I've just been trying to catch up on my stuff, man. Oh, Discovery Bay. He wants in.
Yeah.
Oh, I read the Quasar run that I had. That was actually, I thought it was going to be kind of lame, but I read it and it was actually not too bad. I actually liked Quasar. I was kind of like thinking that it was going to be not that great just because the art on it, and even though the art was pretty cool, I just didn't think I was going to like it, but I enjoyed it.
Was that a Marvel Presents book or something?
No, it was just straight Quasar. It was like issue. What did I start with? I think I have 48, 49, and 52. So I had 3 of those. I also read. I read so much the last couple of days. It's hard to even remember what I read. I read like 8 books. It's not that much, I know, but I'd have to look. Nothing, obviously, that really caught my attention.
Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite character so far? Then,
out of everything that I read of my stuff, I would have to say, man, I still like the Luke Cage. That Quasar was good. Like, I haven't got any runs really, so I haven't really been able to. Yeah, I know, it's because I smoke all that weed. I read my Conan too. That wasn't. I didn't really like that one. That was number 2 or 5.
So are you primarily a Marvel guy? Or are you a?
So I did notice that when I buy books, it's mostly Marvel, but I'm not biased to one or one or the other.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
What's
Thanks
up?
for having me on, man. Sunday. Dude,
Hey,
spoiler
Debbie.
alert. You read this? You guys read
Yes,
this?
I did. I read it.
Spoiler. Can I go throw spoiler? Cover your eyes.
Sure, go
everybody.
ahead.
Cover your eyes, everybody. Cover your eyes, everybody. What the
Yeah.
hell is going on around here?
I hate that yuppie Loki, man. He pisses me off.
Yes, that's Milner.
Yeah, that's the Hammer. But Loki, I hate the version of Loki. My Loki should have
Is
a
that
green
Loki?
suit,
That's Loki,
big
bro.
fucking horns.
Holding
Yeah, he
Milner.
doesn't even know. He doesn't even know it's Loki because it don't look like Loki.
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
guy
he is
look-
the new
Loki.
yeah.
Who's that yuppie bastard? I
It's
don't
the new
like him.
yuppie version of him. I love
Fuck
it.
that yuppie.
Oh man. Well, thanks for having me on,
Hey, how's it going? What's up for today?
Just
You
kind of
missed-
relaxing, you know?
You missed my whole hour I did on digital comics.
Digital. You know what? Digital's not that bad. Come on, man. I read
I love digital.
I read Craven's Last Hunt digitally, and I read it panel to panel. Now, anybody who has never read the Craven's Last Hunt storyline, imagine not being able to peek ahead and never reading the story before. Ever. I've never read the storyline. And initially reading it panel to panel.
Yeah.
It was amazing, dude. He's laying in the bed of freaking spiders. Gah, rah, rah, rah. He's done lost his mind, dude. It was intense.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway, I think digital
panel
can
by
be
panel
okay.
panel by panel they do it well. Makes the story kind of flow differently a little bit, but
Because you can't cheat, because you cheat. Everyone cheats. You know
Oh, yeah,
you
I
cheat.
I flip the page and I look.
yeah.
peeks down into the corner and you it's
The
coming
only
up.
thing,
You try
that
not
you
to, but
lose,
you do.
these 2-page spreads suffer. They do. I mean, they suffer.
That's
when you
true.
go
You
like
don't
that.
get the same oomph of the splash page, because they're trying to show you, the dialogue of where you're supposed to be paying attention to. I agree with that.
But now, when you read digital, what are you reading on?
iPad.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I find most people don't like digital at all. Usually just read phone only because that phone is a terrible reading device.
Which one did I kind of give up on? And it was a storyline that I'm not a big DC guy, and we had to read a Justice League of America storyline. It was like from 1 to 8. And I'm not a big DC guy per se. I mean, I like Batman, but beyond that, it's all right. I struggled and I was trying to read it on my phone and it was brutal. I was like, I gave up on it. It was one of the ones
it's not horrible if you go panel to panel, but the thing is, I'll use it in a pinch, but you have to have a tablet to make it worthwhile.
You got to have a tablet for sure, because now tablet replicates the size that we're familiar with.
Right. But, we can't, as I said before, you can't buy everything. So digital is
chaos. He's good with digital on the phone while he's at a bar. We're talking about comic books, guy. Comic books.
The only thing I said, the only thing is you want to make sure don't get the big honking iPads. Because when you're in bed and you're reading and this fucking thing hits in the noggin, it fucking hurts, man.
Nice.
It hurts.
I hate dropping my phone on myself, dude.
Jake said
beat
you don't all
myself in the head with my iPad several times a day.
Nice. Yes, for sure.
I know when I read fucking Decorum last week, I was doing this. That book was a game manual. It wasn't even a comic.
I got a question for you. You always rant about your LCS keeping his indies in the back.
I never read.
Right? It's not a rant.
Never.
So you're giving us that precise opinion on, not even opinion. You're telling us about why does he ever tell you the answer? Let me get to the chase. Has he ever said why he doesn't put them out? And if he doesn't put them out, why does he keep ordering them? And how does he, I don't get it. I don't understand something else.
I'll be fair to the guy, okay? Maybe I was a little unfair. He hangs all the week's books up on the top of the wall in back of the counter with a push pin so you can see what the books are. And sometimes he will put one up there.
Okay.
But if you want it, you have to go. You say, "Well, okay, get that." And he goes in the back, and he gets. I don't know. Maybe people come in and manhandle. My guess would be people come in and manhandle the books, and he doesn't want.
Yeah,
he doesn't want. And I can understand.
I have a question for you. Does he have any books on the floor? Or is there any books on the floor that you like?
There are books on the floor.
Are those bagged and boarded?
No.
Okay. I'm to the new thing out here, and I don't know if it's a Cali thing, but everything tries to be God, I don't want to sound fucking. It's a Cali thing, man. It's like a boutique. The newer comic book stores that open. There's two actually that open in Lodi that are kind of newer, and they're what you would call the boutique comics. He only does new releases and maybe 2 or 3 weeks back, but everything is bagged and boarded. Everything is bagged and boarded, and he doesn't charge you for it. It's just included in the price. And
there's discount on top of that too.
And there's a punch card system. You know, for every $10 you spend, you get the punch on the card. Well, shit, that shit adds up quick, man. You know how it is.
$2.
There's no percentage off.
It's basic no discount, but it's like basically getting a 10% return on the reward card system, and everything's bagged and boarded. Which, think about it, guys. If everything's bagged and boarded, nobody's manhandling any of the books. They're just not manhandling the books.
I can see where there's going to be a problem if somebody has to unpeel the tape. If they want to look at the book,
they're unsealed. They're all open. They're all they're all out there, but they're all opened.
So if you want to, you can look
pull it
and
out.
be like, okay,
open it up, pull it out, and you could. But everything that the guy puts out is all bagged and boarded. Both these places do it on all their new releases, and I think that's part of the reason. One, it's they don't have any back issues, so everything is real clean and trim and boutique-y, and that's kind of a new thing. Hey, everything's bagged and boarded. We don't charge you for it, and I'm like, all right, I kind of like that.
You on the stream with Mark the Cuddy Shark showing his comic book shop?
No, I would love. I missed that one. Well, that was. Wait a minute, that was during the 36 hours. I missed.
No.
Okay.
I think that was Perry's stream.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it was like a boutique shop, and everything was bagged and boarded, and everything was perfectly clean. All the books were in their own cubicles and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was really nice. It looked like a freaking
cool.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Even these places back issue bins, because they do have just like a year's worth of back issues. And I said, what do you do with the rest? He goes, we don't really have any. I'm like,
so they get rid of them all, huh?
They've just moved because he discounts them and discounts them and discounts them until the point that he's basically got about a year's worth of backstock in his thing, and they're all pre-made, beautiful, sorting things. There's no boxes. There's no cardboard out there.
If you want to be a successful guy, and I know the guy down in Florida does this, you have to go through your inventory continually.
Yeah.
You have to mark it down, and you have to move it around, and you have to if you just take it and stick it in a box and leave it there, it's never going to sell.
Never going to move. No. But now, keeping the advantage here is that everything that these guys already put on the wall that's moving down to the boxes, it's already bagged. It's already bagged and boarded.
But the other guy that he has a long wall. It must be 30 feet, right, of all the comics. And he puts them all behind each other. So eventually they get like this, and all your spines on the book all instantly get crushed.
Rolled up, right? They start to roll up and out. Yeah.
If you buy a book a week later, it's like an 8.
Wait, what causes that roll? Is them
the book pushing up against other and being like this, where they're kind of like.
Let me just put the next one in front of the next one, next in front of the next one. There, exactly. that spine just has no place to go. It's thicker than the rest of the book, really, because of the fold. It's got that extra little fold. I want to go into the collecting methods, but there are some people that they'll put in their own collection. They'll go this way, 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 to do that. Well, I just don't pack them so damn full that you can't get.
Is that how you can avoid it? Is just don't pack them so tight?
I just want more space and make move them around a lot. Plus, I'm in
where
this
you
collection
can actually
a lot.
Yeah,
my collection isn't that big. It's 17 short boxes, basically ish. That you're flipping through. And constantly stuff is coming in, and constantly it's like now the new thing, because the collection has to pay for itself. Wifey, I love you, baby. The new thing is, as things are coming in, as a box is full, I got to look at the box and go, do I want to start to move all this stuff down this way and this way, or is it time to take something out of here? And then you look at the box, it's time to get rid of these. Pull those out, shuffle everything around, put in some new stuff. That's what I'm doing.
Jigs, what maintenance are you talking about? Like what kind of maintenance is there on books?
Flipping your bags and boards, that's another thing. Yeah, when we were kids, the bags and boards we used, you got to flip that stuff out. I'll tell you what, guys, I got a lot of books sent into me and I got to flip out a lot of bags and boards just because they're straight funky.
Just like
straight up, man. And some of the times you're out there hunting. You go to a con, and I'm shocked that some of the cons, these guys have everything beautifully bagged and boarded, double backs, double thick, all plastic. And then some of the places in cons are straight up. This guy has been hauling this shit around for years, and these bags and boards have been touched by everybody. So you know the first thing I do is start flipping out the bags and boards all the time. Ugh.
Yeah, the LCS guy, his books are gross. I bought a couple of them. Then like you can feel the grit on the pages on the bags. It really is like Ebola City.
Yeah, it's gross, man. You got to just be flipping that shit out. Can't do it.
So are you one of those people that even though somebody sends you, like, even if it is like a bag and board that's pretty nice, do you switch them to your bag and board or depending? Oh.
That just fucked them all up.
Yeah.
He doesn't, and it finally got him.
Yeah. Sorry. If it's something I'm keeping, I actually do flip it out. I spent the money. I spent some money on the My Lights and the what do you call them? These My Light 2s. I bought these, the Silver Age ones with the boards, the fullbacks, and I bought 1,000 of them. And I said, you know, if I'm gonna, everything that's gonna be in the core collection is gonna be in these. And just
the My Lights are nice.
They're super clean. Plus the extra size board, you know, your book is in there. You see this nice border going all the way around it. God forbid you drop it, what you do, and you know it's got room in there. It's nice.
They don't seem to get as nasty and gross either for some reason.
Yeah,
especially if it's have cats and all that cat hair gets on the book and
dude, there's books that show up, guys. There are books that show up here, and you could just imagine. I mean, I pull off the tape, and there's all this. You know, what a cat, dog. I don't know what it is. I'm like,
some pube, maybe.
God, I gotta get this thing out of here.
That's why when I watch, I love the man, but man, when I watch Biggie and he's sitting there with that big cigarette.
Oh, I have to flip every single thing that Biggie sends me gets flipped out, and he knows it. He knows it. You know, he's cool with it. And he even says, he goes, "Oh man, this one's in a Mylar. I'm gonna change it out." Good, Biggie, change that shit out. Put in something new because I'm gonna flip it out anyway. You can do that.
I mean, I'm not smoking. You know? I got a lot of friends who are smokers. Everybody, my friends say, I smoke outside. My stuff don't smell. I go in their house for 15 minutes. I walk out and it's like, oh my god. Cigarettes, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of I don't have a lot of my books when I was real young. I have probably about 100 books that I trashed because my mom used to smoke. And when I was away at college, all my books were there. And when I got them, they were all yellow.
Just musty.
Not in plastic or just even in plastic?
Right, yeah, I wonder. I don't know, man. You know, I never thought about that, Jigs. No, I never think about it. I don't smoke, so, you know. My dad used to smoke when I was younger, and the same thing. I've actually commented to this. It is kind of funny. Back when I was young, my dad used to smoke, and you know, when they're drinking, love you, Dad. When they're drinking, sometimes they don't actually smoke. They're holding it. They're talking with it. And they're pushing it. They're doing everything but smoking the damn thing. And what happens is this ash starts to, and you're like, at any moment, this thing is gonna fall off. Right. And I remember this through my youth. I'm like, dude, this thing's going to fall off anywhere. It's going to fall in his food. It's going to fall. But as he's been, he's got the cigarette and he's not really, and it's going out. Biggie doesn't say he'll be talking. I'm like, ash the damn smoke already, will you, Biggie? Ash the damn smoke.
That cracked me up the last time I saw that, dude. His ash was like this long. Right? And like, like, JB, you're like, ash that motherfucker, dude. That was hilarious. I saw that last time. It was happened a couple of days ago, but yeah, that cracked me up, dude.
Man. Yeah, Chaos. Sweet. Chris Sarda jumping on.
What up, Chaos? Where's he at? Where's he at?
That's funny.
So Jigs said monthly maintenance. So what's monthly maintenance, Jigs?
Monthly maintenance is taking the books that you bought last month sorting them that you've read, incorporating them into their collective runs where they go, so that you don't constantly have this big old pile of like craziness happening. You know, that's what I think it would be monthly maintenance, because you get books this week, you don't read them all this week, you read half of them. Okay, now I've got 3 and I got to read. The next week I got 2 more and I got to read. I got to read. Now this shit's starting to pile up. I haven't put any of these away. At some point, you got to put your shit away, and that's really, this is the new thing. This is decision time now. I'm waiting till I get to about 4 or 5 issues before I go put them away. And some of the stuff I'm like, I ain't putting this shit away, man. It ain't ever making it into my box. It's going bye-bye right now. You know, if I read,
What was that?
I read, a run, like there's a couple runs I feel are going to be going away pretty soon. Is that Perry Comics?
Yeah, dude.
What the
He just showed up with
Scarpad.
Oh my God. What's up, Perry?
You working from home or what?
We're talking dirty ass comics.
Dirty, filthy
I'm
comics.
trying to update the new Call of Duty to play with Scarpad.
Mm.
And
Hey,
update my
Chaos,
Huh?
IG me. Okay, I see that. All right, hold on.
Put the link in the chat.
Yeah. Don't.
It's
What is
getting-
it?
Wait, I can do it. Yeah, you're right. Scarpad. I mean, Chris, I'll do it. I'll forward it to him.
you got it? All right.
Yeah, I got it.
I need to get myself a copy.
I don't mind seeing a few wangs at this point in the day. I can handle it. Now, when we were talking about Biggie's big friggin' cigarette and how it affects his comics.
Harry looked like Con.
What the hell? Yeah, don't have it. No, I haven't.
Oh, man, no!
What do you mean? I'm just stretching Scarpad.
I saw skin, man. I saw skin.
I don't have it. Perry, do you have it?
Have what?
Chaos. His email. Can't find it.
Oh, I have no idea. I put everything in the chat.
You're a knucklehead with that
No
shit,
one has
man.
time for fucking email.
You're a fucking knucklehead with that. Where is it?
Oh yeah, how dead was Disney, Perry?
It was so packed.
Shut
Was it
the
really?
front door. Was it packed?
Waiting hours online. Yeah,
there you go,
there was a
Chaos.
lot of people.
Trying to get there before it closes, probably, huh?
I guess nobody gave a damn about no coronavirus.
They're like, we're going out with a bang.
Yeah, no shit. That's nuts.
If I'm going out, I want to go
every
to
time- every
Disneyland
time
one
someone
last
tweets, it's
time.
Like Lysol came out of nowhere.
You know what they did? Instead of Disney, instead of blowing the bubbles out over the main street, they just Lysoled everybody as they
I was just
walked
going to
in.
say, instead of the misters, it's probably just Lysol.
Yeah, you had to walk through a
They
mister
had
of
people with
Lysol.
pumping hand sanitizer.
Oh, man.
That would be great.
Link to the chat if you wanted to click on it.
Ah, there you go.
Do we have any mods in there?
You have any moderators in the chat?
Who needs a moderator?
As
Oh,
he
there it is.
is.
No, I got him. There he is. I already put it in. God damn it. Why do you have something goofy like that?
Gentlemen,
Hey, Mad Mike. What's up, bro?
What up, man?
what's going on, guys?
Just enjoying
Make sure I
a
get this in here.
beautiful Sunday morning. Well, afternoon now.
Look, me and Chaos finally got the same position, looking down. I see what you do, Chaos. You put your phone on the laptop, and then you just look down on it.
Oh, sometimes, yeah. Right now,
I have a
it
little
on
tripod.
Actual, I have an on an
There it
actual tripod right now,
Ah,
but
come on.
I do
man.
look down on it.
Not recognized. What do you
Oh,
mean?
did you catch me hit myself in the head with my iPad earlier?
I saw it.
Cool.
Nice.
I had a whole thing about digital comics and no one came in, man. But now everybody fucking jumps in. What the fuck? Missed all the good
Well,
shit.
we could turn it to a digital comics discussion.
God damn it.
Oh, is
Since
that
you
what
already
we're
did
talking
your
about?
rant.
Digital comics.
We already did
discussion.
that. We already did that, man. So
Oh,
Yeah,
here
I heard,
comes Vernon.
I heard JB talk about it, but
What did you think of that? Have you read a lot of panel
read
by
a lot.
panel where you don't cheat? And I
Yeah.
know Jake says he doesn't cheat. We all cheat. Come on, man.
I don't
I
cheat
hate them.
either. I
You
have
don't
to tell
cheat.
you,
How does your eye not just glance down to that bottom corner like that when you've turned the page? Come on.
I don't know. I train myself. I mean, sometimes
That ruins the
I
whole
see
book.
that quarter panel
know.
with the reveal, but no, most of the time, yeah. Sleepy Reader 666 has a good video about like how your eyes get trained going panel to panel, and you could cheat, but somehow you don't. You somehow pay attention to it. It's somewhere like in the back of your head that you saw it.
It is.
But I do like reading the with that technology, that Marvel Unlimited Comixology technology.
But do you agree that the phone, you can't do it on the phone? I don't know. You can't do it.
I do it at the bar. I do it at the bar on the phone.
You're reading comics at the bar? You got issues, man.
It's actually really cool. You got to watch him do it.
If I'm
I sit at the bar.
in a doctor's office or something, I'll use my phone, but otherwise I'm always on a tablet.
Yeah. I like the
Scarpad,
tablet
is this
better.
going to become like a marathon tonight? Are you going to just take this thing like 24 hours?
Fuck no, I'm off in 15 minutes. I got a girlfriend and she's going to poke me in the fucking eye with a poke.
Nice.
My wife informed me that I'm drinking too much, so
I ain't like fucking jigs. I don't give you fucking 40 hours to talk here. If you got some fucking nugget in your head, some fucking you want to apart, get the fucker out now. You only got 15 minutes.
You got 15 minutes. 15-minute warning. You're going to start flashing the lights up and down. Last call.
Right, last call. Here we go.
Last call for hot takes.
Fucking coronavirus. Get it out now.
Get it out.
Yes.
Oh, I fucking love you, Scarpad, dude.
Scarpad's awesome.
Steve,
He's
yeah,
such a
comics.
badass.
Man, good what if this morning. You guys gotta be checking out the Two Brothers What If with Captain Comics. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Where they break down. They've already either on episode. They're literally reading 1, 2, 3. This is good stuff.
yeah, I read it in the morning before they got on, and it helped me that he was an hour late because he didn't go to bed until like 5 a.m. or something. They didn't go to bed till 5 a.m. last night.
Who
That was
went
their
epic
time.
last? Oh, two brothers
And
went
then it was an
epic
extra,
last
it was an
night.
extra 30 minutes after the stream of just talking.
You guys are
What?
nuts. You guys
Oh,
are
in
crazy.
the back?
In the back, yeah, the backstage. You never know. It could go forever out back there.
It does sometimes.
Bueller doesn't shut up. Bueller, I know you're listening.
I know you're
fucking
listening.
editing your video with your motion blurs, but Bueller keeps talking, man.
Your motion blurs.
Hey, let's take a poll. What's better, a motion blur or a jump cut? Basically, it's Bueller style versus Perry style.
Oh,
Hey, man.
Intense jump. Hey, Perry looks like Nightcrawler sometimes with his jump cuts. He'd be like, "Click, I'm over here. I'm over here."
Oh, that's good.
Hey, people on
Eventually,
YouTube
Perry's
love
gonna
that.
Perry's gonna jump cut to. He's not there. Boom.
Yeah, there we go.
He's
It'll be Bueller.
he's got that.
That's so.
He's gonna have everybody's "What do you mean?" face in his place. Oh man, good stuff. Fun time, fellas.
Oh, just so you know, Tuesday, I got a special show coming up Tuesday. I got to go down to the hardware store first and get the duct tape. What's going to be happening is I got a cosplay coming over, and I'm going to turn the basement and tie her up so she can't fucking move. And we're going to do a whole show on that. It should be good.
Some people are gonna love it. Some people are gonna hate it.
Some people love me. Some people hate me. Hey,
Oh shit!
Poor JB.
Why?
Yeah.
You guys are brutal. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
well,
When's your shirt coming out? You got a Come On Man shirt?
the show's going on, and she's struggling to get out of the chair that I duct taped to. She'll just be doing things, making faces like this.
Can't wait for that.
Your horror movie watch is going to be like it's going to be dual horror movie watch and cosplay. You're just going to have her play it out.
Hostile cosplay.
Yeah, Hostel. We're going to watch Hostel, and I'm actually going to tie up a woman to a chair.
This was originally going to be a science fiction movie today. I was going to stream it from YouTube, but because you can't fucking stream something that's already on YouTube without getting a copyright strike, even though 50 people can click on the fucking thing and watch it anyways, I didn't do it. You know, so we had to just get you assholes on here to talk.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, thanks.
I appreciate you coming on, though. I really do. Thank all of you.
You gotta do what Perry does. Do like all those blocks.
Hold on. Mad Mike hasn't said one thing yet. Mad Mike, what's going on?
He looks
Hey, man, not much. I'm enjoying you guys.
happy.
All right, that's good. That's good.
First time I heard that.
I know, right?
Hey.
He doesn't hear that too often.
Barry doesn't get that one very often.
Right? Since Perry's been on, how many thumbs down have we got so far? No.
All of us have gotten thumbs down on all our channels.
Yeah, you guys
You know what? Hold on.
You guys
Scarpad, I got all you guys on the panel beat. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
This guy right here. I don't know why. Actually, who knows? I've
have, like-
lost 5 subscribers in the last 2 days.
Why?
I don't know, but you know how your little thing will round you to the number. The thing rounds you to the number. It said 1240. I was like, holy shit! I got up to 1240. I looked up there, 1241. I was like, hey, nice. 2 days later, back down to 1235.
So bad.
I'm like,
Dude,
Oh,
it
there's a
probably.
purge.
Come on,
That's
you
a
guys-
purge.
You guys with 1,500 users, you can absorb a loss that Perry gives you. But me, it's tough. I only got subscribers. I lose 2. It's like a fucking catastrophe.
he's like, I lost 20% of my subscriber base.
I
Exactly.
do it anyways. I'm an equal opportunity type of guy. If Perry wants to come on now, and he really wants to help me out, he can yank that fucking toenail out with a pair of pliers right now.
That would get him so many views. That would get him so many views.
You can do it. You can do it. But no, he won't do it.
Literally viral. Literally viral.
Scarpad, they're taking your channel down now.
Hey, got taken down.
Hey Perry. Yeah, that was a mess. Let me give you a sanitary tip. Maybe change your shirt from yesterday.
No,
No.
I put it on at
Same shirt.
10:30. No, I put this shirt on at 10:30 last night, so it hasn't even been 24.
He's like, I haven't even gotten 24 hours on this shirt yet, man.
Yeah. I haven't even sweat in it for that long.
Yeah, just
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Disney shirt. What is it?
X-Men should be, right?
essentially.
Yeah. Whoa, easy there, Vernon.
Hey, Perry, did you do an audio version of this one?
Oh no, I only did issue 1.
Are you going to do this one?
I went to go pick up issue 2, and I picked up the second printing for issue 1 like a dumbass. Why would they
I
release
hate-
it the same day?
I hate it when they
That's
do
a
that.
Yeah,
horrible
Mike.
cover. Look
The
how
other
big her
night in
forehead.
Perry's stream, Perry saw a guy that did, and remember that, Perry? The guy did this thing that made Perry's fucking audio play, put it to shame, had production values. Remember the guy?
And then he jumped in the chat.
Yeah, the guy was skilled. He did a nice video and he only had 8 views.
Wow.
The guy probably spent 2 weeks on the thing, so it's
Yeah, he probably did.
not worth it.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
the pre-production stuff is no good. But I'll tell you what, I did spend, I don't know, anybody, Chris saw it. What did you think of my intro, my short box Padawan? Welcome to the show.
Oh, it was great. It was beautiful.
Is
I'm
that
just always
cool?
afraid. Yeah, I'm always afraid. I'd be afraid to do Star Wars stuff because people have such strong feelings on the new ones. I thought it's cool because I love Rey,
Yeah.
but she seemed to like it too. So you were good. You were good.
Like,
But
yeah,
That's the only editing
her
that I
intro
do
is
now. That's the
incredible.
only editing I do. Since I go live all the time, the only edited stuff I have are little snippet clip type things. And there, it doesn't take that long. When I was editing
I
a
love
10-minute
mine.
video and taking 4 hours, bullshit. I'm done with those days. Ain't happening.
Yeah,
That's a lot of editing time.
It takes
For
I
how-
love
forever.
mine. Mine's Kramer. Oh, he disappeared.
oh,
You guys remind me to tell him how much I appreciate mine when he
He
comes
just
back
booted
on.
me.
Later, click.
I'm like, you're backstage.
Like I left you a big compliment, which is a rare thing.
I'm a little
You just-
disappointed because all my good
Yeah.
rants I go through, and yet I haven't seen one Scarpad thing on JB's Discovery Bay show. Where's my riff, baby? Where's my riff?
You want a riff, huh?
I don't have one.
I don't
No.
know.
Oh, dude, he could get so many.
There's so many good ones, man. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's like Biggie's uncle over here, Scarpad.
Oh, for real, dude.
Oh man. have to come up with something. We'll think
Z,
about it.
what's on your IG? Poll on my IG for what? What's your poll on your IG? Was it for chaos and
That shorty intro was fire. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Z.
I love it.
I got a God Tank one. Yeah, the God Tank one is good too. Fire.
Fyra? That is a good one,
I
dude.
just got his sound.
Yeah, it was.
You got that too? You grabbed that?
Well, I play like everybody's catchphrase on my lurking streams.
Nice.
Like everybody, yeah. So
Hey,
I play like Jabroni jumps in. I play like soundbite.
Hold on. Let's set the record straight, Z-Collects. I watch every stream that Discovery Bay puts out because I have no life. I haven't been invited on yet.
Oh,
And even though I sent AOK for his channel,
Oh, JB getting called out.
Oh my
haven't
Yeah, but he
called
won't
me
look
out.
at that for 7 months.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
thanks for having me on.
Maybe someday I'll get it.
Oh my God.
Maybe after I string a few cosplayers in my basement, they'll. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll work-
Damn.
I'll work on it.
yeah, man. Yeah, we got to have you on. That'll be fun.
What's up, 36 Chambers?
It's up
Oh,
there.
it'll be fun.
JB,
You know, hey, honestly, I've literally I'm asking for a guest. I want to have a guest every morning show, which is 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m.
Yeah, well,
Eastern.
who's going to come on, man? No one's home. People have to work. for
I
that
know,
shit.
and I look for a
Yeah.
guest for every night show. Half the reason why I cancel it, well, I mean, half the reason is because Perry's
You gotta
fucking
go prime
never getting
time.
offline. But the other half the reason why I cancel,
I ain't
Right.
going in the morning hours. I need my prime time exposure, baby.
I don't think you're allowed on prime time, baby.
Hey, Scarpad's not a soap opera. Scarpad's not a soap opera.
Not a
He's
soap
VR.
opera.
He's friends.
he's like, all
He's
right.
friends. He's
No, but
Seinfeld.
guys, I'm always looking for a guest for the night show. Half the reason why like I said, half the reason why I cancel is because I don't have a guest. So I don't feel bad because I don't have a guest since I'm not really flaking on anybody. And the other reason that the other 50% of the time is that Perry won't stop streaming. If the guy ever fucking stopped streaming, I'd get an opportunity to put a show up every once in a while. But the guy's always live. And I don't want to step on Perry's toes.
Hey,
I love my bro Perry.
JB, if I'm on Perry's stream, that means that I can be on a stream. You just ask me, I'll jump off and go right on your show.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be no
Majority
problem,
of
huh?
people do.
Yeah.
It's okay, because look, they start off on my stream, then I'm still live. They go to JB's stream, and I wait it out for an hour.
You just wait.
I
I'm
know-
just gonna wait it
I
out.
know.
Yep.
Yeah,
We're gonna go
you
through
know
this
why Perry goes? He
hour-long
goes, you know what?
tunnel, and
I
then
know
we're gonna
for a
come right back.
fact that Monday through Thursday, that fucking show is only going an hour. I'll wait his ass out.
Hey, at least
I'll
he's
be
nice
back.
enough to do it.
I'll be back. He's only going an hour. I know it. No, Friday I think we went a solid hour and a half last night. Or
Wow.
I like
Saturday
Z's
night. Yeah, last
collect.
night with, you know, a new thing that I tried this. It probably isn't going to fucking work, but you know, I talk about how pathetic the click-through rate is because my thumbnails blow. So
Yeah.
Like-
I'm
like
going
Harvey?
back. I'm literally going back and changing them after the stream, right? So I added the Batman #2 and the Batman #2 and the Fantastic Four #4 from Raw. What the fuck is this guy doing?
He's trying to give you an intro. He's trying to just make the intro easy.
I told you.
I can't use that.
Scarpad's only going on the night show,
Take
so
it
you
down.
can't.
Yeah, he's not allowed on prime time.
Oh my god! All right, I was thinking of the cut from Perry's stream where you actually had the big handle like tipped up straight.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'd be.
That was
I have
an
a feeling with them it'd be
That-
Harley on the back. Harley would be on the back there, Scarpad.
Well,
You guys are crazy.
I understand Punchline will be in the back.
Oh yeah, maybe would be
Yeah.
nice. There you go. Add punchline to the train.
Hey, Mad Mike, I hate to call you out here, man, but you're not adding much to the stream here. Let's go.
Yeah, content, man.
Participate.
Hey, let's have 5 people interview Mike. Okay, everyone think up a question. We're all gonna interview Mike. Okay. I don't want to go first.
I don't want to go first.
Mike,
Right.
are you alive?
Mike, are you alive?
You froze.
Yes,
Blink
I'm
twice.
alive.
For the twice, you're alive.
I put a picture up in front of the camera.
Right?
Yeah. Mike, how do you feel about starring in Scarpad's cosplay show?
Oh, I'm ready. Signing up.
Are you going to be the one with the duct tape?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, God.
Get some zip ties.
Get Scar. I got it. We're gonna get him on. He's stand-up comedy though. I gotta schedule. It's got to be a Friday night show. I wouldn't give him any less. It's got to be a Friday night show.
And prime time only.
Prime time only for Scarpad. Friday or Saturday night.
In SFW, baby. In SFW.
That's right.
NSW,
Scarpad doesn't have to worry
that
about Scarpad's Netflix special hasn't come out, so he could do all his old material about his LCS on your show.
Oh yeah.
That'll be like his Netflix special. He's already practiced it on Perry's
He's got it
stream on his
down.
own.
We're gonna talk about him getting that the indie from the back.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, I got a question for Matt. Seriously, Matt, you did mention that you were in the military, right?
yes.
What was the first comic book that you bought when you got out? When you were a civilian again? When you went back and said, "Hey, man, I'm going to buy a comic book again." What was the first one you got?
I'll tell you what gets me, man, is spinner racks. I went into a used bookstore and they had a spinner rack, and I seen a couple Punisher Maxes, and I hadn't read comics in years, and that's what got me into it. I said, and they were half price, so I grabbed them. I said, "Oh, cool." And then I read them, and I said, I wonder if there's an LCS here. And I looked, and I found it.
Very cool. Punisher Max on a spinner rack when you were first. How old were you when you got out of the military?
When I got out, 22.
So 22.
Wait, you said your first book was Punisher Max?
When he got out of the military.
Oh.
I asked
My
him when
first
he, you know.
book- My first
Okay, what I did is I collected as a little kid. I collected a little bit, and then what got me into it when I was going into high school is I went into a convenience store and I looked at a spinner rack, and I seen Spider-Man was wearing a black costume, and I said, "Wait a minute, Spider-Man don't wear a black costume," and I had to find out. So that pulled me in all the way through high school, and then when I went into the Marines, I sold my collection, got rid of it all.
Why?
I don't know, and I kicked myself to look at the prices of those books now.
Oh my goodness.
And then about 2009, I got back into it, and I had about 3 long boxes, and I got with my girlfriend, and then we broke up, and she kept them. I could never get them back from her.
Custody battle.
Yeah, custody.
So and I kept about 30 of my favorite comics from when I was a kid. She don't know what she's got, but she'll never give them back to me. I just can't get them back.
You can't get them back? Hey, go ahead and put her address in the chat.
Oh my God, JP.
So then about November of 2018, I got back into it again. So this will be the 3rd collection of my lifetime.
Your 3rd collection. Oh, man. Safeguard this one, man. Let's keep it. Hey,
so that's my story. That's my origin.
Scarpad, is that enough? Did he add some content?
Beautiful content. I like it.
He can stay now. Yeah.
You can stay now.
Check. You're good.
Perry, are you working on some new stuff? Is this some new material?
No.
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 I have no content.
I have no.
Just live streams.
All I do is talk shit.
Is that me? Are you making fun of me?
Your content.
No, I'm not. I'm dead.
The original concept of the channel was I don't need to have content because you're all my content. I'm just going to report on
This
what
show about
everyone else is
nothing.
doing.
That's a show about nothing.
Everybody, what everyone else is doing.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I hate to cut you guys all off. This is interesting, but I gotta go cook some chicken. So why don't we wrap this up? Perry's picking his nose. He's really being deep here.
Not
So
touching your face.
Oh, I was gonna say Scarpad. I got Mortal Kombat downloaded, and I'm finishing the update for Call of Duty, so we can play some games. I'm gonna try to live stream it.
Oh, you are? All right.
That was pretty cool last night with Carolina Chris, you and TK.
Yeah, we were going in. We were like a whole squad right there.
Yeah, that was sick.
All right. Well,
Except you got beat by a 4-year-old.
Send me an invite. I know. Send me an invite after 10. Once I get rid of the old lady, I'll jump on with you.
What do you mean get rid of her? You know, like back in the trunk?
Yeah, you can burn the basement.
Yeah.
Once
Once she gets her duct tape back on.
All right, so let's go down the horn here. Why don't you say whatever shit you got going? JB, go last because he never had me on his show.
I have you. Hey, I always have you on Scarpad.
Perry does. Perry, but you know, everybody goes on Perry's show because of the whole unsub stuff. So why don't we go right to left, and if that means we're gonna go to some comic. Go ahead.
I don't really have. I know I have some AOKs coming in the mail, so I'll be dropping some videos here pretty soon. Mike said that he has one.
You'll get mine tomorrow.
Yep. So I'll be doing another video probably tomorrow. Probably dropping it tomorrow. Other than that, I did my video yesterday with the AOKs that I got from Jigs and Superior Hero. So it's pretty much what I got.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I always like to see those AOKs. Perry,
yeah.
What's the next thing you're doing besides pissing me off?
Well, I'm gonna do like a bunch of content that no one watches, but I want to try. Look, Jigs messed me up.
I watch it.
Jigs, dude, with the 36-hour. I need content 24/7. I'm gonna try to see maybe next week. I'm gonna do from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Perry, hold on. I didn't ask about your dreams and fucking aspirations. I just want to know what the fucking next thing you're doing. What's the next thing you're doing?
There's my intro right there at the 2-hour mark and 1 minute.
Hey, yeah.
Scarpad intro.
What's your fucking hopes and dreams?
And aspirations.
What are you doing next? What's the next thing you're gonna have on?
I'm gonna live stream playing video games with other community members.
Oh,
that's something I won't watch. I was gonna say I watch your content, not that shit.
All right, Chaos, what you got going on? And not next week, like soon.
Yeah, probably nothing.
See, the man knows. JB, what you got next?
Well, you know, coming up soon here on a Friday night or Saturday night, we are going to have a special appearance by this man right here. That way, right there. I'm working on an intro now. We'll probably have it ready for tomorrow afternoon. What do you want? Which ones do you watch? Do you watch any of the shows? Do you pop in? You pop in for the. You don't do pop up, do you? You do pop up. You pop up.
What the fuck are you rambling on about? What's the next thing you got? The next show coming up in the lineup. What's the next one?
The next show on the lineup is
none you guys understand what I'm asking. I'm not asking. You're gonna have
the
me on
morning
next week.
show.
I'm asking what's the next thing you got coming up? The next thing. Go.
If nothing tonight,
Tomorrow
what do you have
morning,
in the
9:30
morning?
a.m. Tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Fantastic, man. Mad Mike, what you got coming up next?
Oh man, I still got my 100 sub contest going on until the 27th of this month. Check it out; it's easy to enter.
100 sub? What do you mean? You haven't got
That's your next thing, Mike. That's your last thing. What's your next thing?
That's it.
All right, cool. But he
Kidding.
told me what the next thing was. I want to thank everybody for coming on and doing a little Sunday and chill here. Thanks to YouTube for fucking up my sci-fi show and not, giving me a copyright strike. Otherwise, I would have been doing something fun. But hey, I'm glad to have you guys on here. We'll get y'all probably next Sunday. The next thing I got coming up.
And everyone leaves.
I have no idea. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Hasta la vista. Have a good Sunday. Stay away from that coronavirus. And Perry, pull that damn toenail.
Later, guys.
See you later.
Enjoy your Sundays.
Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
Sundays, everybody. Bye.
Oh man.
Hi guys, thanks for coming on.
Hey,
Thanks
I
for
gotta
having
book
me.
you Friday. What do you want to be this next Friday? This next Saturday? Tell me.